everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We're going to skip across the globe and I'm going to go fast, so hang on. The first story is Ripple launching a new hub in Brazil. This is to expand the network across South America. The Brazilian office will be led by a gentleman whose name is Luis Antonio Sacco. He'll take care of the entire operation of Latin America, and Cointelegraph Brazil tells us that Luis said he is looking forward to expand the ecosystem and bring more financial institutions to connect to RippleNet. Ripple has 3 partners in Brazil: Santander Brazil, BTEC, and Bradesco. Mr. Sacco used to work for Bradesco back in 2007. I hope he still has some partners. He has also a very good background in terms of his career. He's worked for companies like IBM and American Express. So he graduated with his BA in 1993 and he got his MBA from 2001 to 2003. So that gives him about 24 years of a working career. He is a job hopper. He has hopped jobs 10 times in the last 24 years. So I hope that he finds Ripple as a good home and that he has a lot of success to get new XRP corridors opened up and new financial institutions into the RippleNet ecosystem. And if we go to the Ripple Twitter site, you can see here, this is the announcement when Bradesco became a new cross-border payment service between Japan and Brazil. And do you notice something interesting here? There is a new color of the Ripple logo today. I'm not sure what the story is. There's obviously some event is going on and there's some reason. I just didn't see anything before I went to do this video and I didn't want to delay. But the chatter on the XRP Twitter in Japan was really funny because Japanese don't equate the rainbow colors with LGBTQ, and they just had no idea what this was. Everybody was really confused, but I think they've got it figured out now. Anyway, I look forward to seeing what the story is. I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So if I take you to the blockchain summit in Mexico City that's going to take place on July 4th and 5th, oh my gosh, Luis Antonio Sacco is going to be a speaker. So he's not wasting any time at all. If you want to attend this blockchain summit, it is very affordable. You can go for 2 days for less than $200. So in Mexico, Ripple has a liquidity partner, Bitso. Bitso will be at this event. Also, R3 is going to be at this event. And Ripple shows up on the collaborators page. So it's really good to see that there are boots on the ground in this part of the world to get that ecosystem growing in that part of the world. Yeah, I'm very happy for that. No doubt they'll have some great conversations. Okay, I'm going back to an article I talked about yesterday. This is with MoneyGram and the executive who said that cryptocurrencies are highly probable for the future in international money transfers. It was a really, really positive article, especially since they are talking publicly about using RippleNet and XRP, the digital asset, for their transfers. But this is the part that kind of stuck with me. So at the moment, he added, the biggest obstacle to it achieving this is the lack of liquidity and underdevelopment in some regions. So I was just giving that a lot of thought. And of course, XRP as a digital asset really does solve the global money problem with its true liquidity. You can see here that in terms of the cost that it takes to do a international remittance, you can see the Nostro Vostro liquidity cost equates for about 34%. That totally is taken out because you don't have to pre-fund when you use XRapid. And they currently have to pre-fund because those corridors with correspondent banking partners are the only way they can get those remittances done without XRP. And also, too, you can cut out this claims and treasury operations cost of 27%. So that's a significant savings using XRP. And also, it was just on May 5th that we heard from David that the upgrade 4.0 is live. And that's important because even though it's a complex process, this allows much easier peering for multi-hop and XRapid. So things are moving in the right direction. And if you remember in the last Ripple drop, they really focused on the on-demand liquidity for cross-border payments. And we learned from Kevin Moll, there's going to be many new corridors announced. So I'm very happy to, even though I recognize that it might be holding some companies back, I think it is definitely the wave is coming in the right direction. And here you can see this is a really interesting Bitso volume. So Bitso being a liquidity partner, you can see that the volume of XRP has really become much higher and significantly higher. This is a 3-month snapshot here. And starting at around the 13th or 14th of May, continuing through the 10th of June here, you can see that it has really been, quite an improvement. So as soon as we see more of these liquidity partners participating, I think we're going to see a positive impact on the price. And who else is out there pushing XRP? Do you know who this is standing next to CZ at Binance? She is the head of XRP institutional liquidity. Her name is Catherine Colley. And then if you see here, just a couple of days ago, she's at another Binance event. So you got to wonder, wow, she's really hanging out with Binance a lot. She was at the Binance Labs. This is a venture arm of Binance. It took place from May 20th to June 7th. It's where they gather to incubate and invest into new companies. And when they do invest, they provide that mentorship, an added network. They give advice, whether it's PR or legal. And they graduated 13 new startups. And one of them happens to be a payments app company called Zend. And it's a mobile app where it stands a little bit out from the pack by touting that it needs no internet to complete the transaction. And they have a very aggressive referral program too, as well. And then talking about who's going to be pushing XRP, I just want to remind everybody that a couple of weeks ago, it was on the 29th of May, we learned that Brianne Madigan is joining Ripple from Goldman Sachs. When she was at Goldman, she was the head of the institutional wealth division, and that was taking care of 1.4 trillion in assets. Wow. So now she is the lead in the global institutional market team. So I'm not sure if she is going to report to Catherine or if Catherine reports to her. I'm not sure of the organizational structure with the Ripple company, but you can see that Catherine is quite busy out there in the world of possible new liquidity partners. And with this new hire, I'm very excited to see what the Q2 sales will be. In Q4, they were 40 million. In Q1 of 2019, they were 61 million. So I am very, very curious to see what Q2 2019 in the institutional direct sales will be. All right, just to let you know, Max didn't block me. Thank you, Max. I appreciate that. And then I want to show you a picture from the G20 pre-meeting in Fukuoka that has gone viral here in Japan, and it's this one. This is Mr. Aso, Taro Aso. He is the ex-prime minister of Japan, and he is now the right-hand man to the current prime minister. He's a very powerful guy, and he is on the top of the Ministry of Finance. So he is here doing some interesting body language with Christine Lagarde. She looks like she's like, hold on a minute. Yeah, I don't know. It's a funny picture. I think it's great. I can understand why it went viral here in Japan. And then if we take a look at what everyone's talking about here, it's not so much the virtual currency, but they're talking about the GAFA, and that they are really trying to get some global taxation laws across the G20. I don't know. This is the plan. It says here is expected to get a green light. But it won't be easy to implement because taxation is a sovereign right, and many countries have been racing to the bottom for years. And the reason why is because they're trying to attract businesses with their lower cost corporate tax rates. So for this particular G20, I can tell you that this Facebook, Apple, Google, Amazon group and their tax is going to be a big focus for Japan. Because I think what they mentioned is, this is exactly what they mentioned in one of the articles I read, that the next G20 goes to Saudi Arabia, I believe, and they think that Saudi Arabia doesn't have a handle at all on the tax breaks that these companies are getting in the countries that are currently really mostly part of the G20. So they really want to get something done before it rolls over to the next meeting. All right, we just have to wait and see. All right, everybody, I am jumping to the fluff, and that fluff is something that just broke here in the last day or so. There is some ancient skeletons found in the northern part of Japan in Hokkaido. And they have been able to do for the first time some very deep genetic information mapping. It's of the entire genome from these prehistoric times. And it gives great insight to modern Japanese of where they are originating from. And according to this particular study, from the Jomon period, this woman, current modern day Japanese, have inherited about 10% of her same DNA. They were hunter-gatherer people, and they lived in that region about 3,800 years ago and back. So they have been in Japan for a very, very long time. They actually extracted that DNA from a molar, and it's the first ever in the world such complete and precise sequencing. And it's very, very interesting. They found that the ancestors of this group of villagers came from the continental Eurasia part of the world. There is actually 27 fellow villagers found in the burials with her, but it's big news here because it's giving a lot of insight to the history of modern Japanese people. And if you look at the pottery that came out of the Jomon period, they were unbelievable ceramic artists. And you have a lot of pieces still today that they have found. I thought this one was just great. It looks like some sort of vessel for pouring who knows what. I just don't know. And it's probably only an educated guess by even the experts because it is so old, but it is really, truly beautiful. And Japanese have continued to be amazing ceramic artists to this day. And if you do come to Japan, and especially Tokyo, there are about 10 studios that you can participate in learning Japanese ceramics. And you can do it for sometimes a couple of hours, sometimes a day, sometimes an overnight stay. And there are even some studios that give a 3-month short course. And the prices are as low as starting at like $40 for being able to get on a potter's wheel and actually make something. And they'll provide you the glaze and the kiln to fire it, and you can take home your piece. I have done a couple of pieces here, and it's really fun. Anyway, I hope you get a chance, if you're interested in this, to do something like that when you come to Tokyo, because there's many to choose from. All right, everybody, take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.